I don't think that the government is taking any position with regard to Dr. Brown. What the government is saying in my comments this morning on the floor of the House is that we have zero tolerance for infractions. I was clear even when we were in Washington, and I got a question by email through the press secretary, that the government feels that any action that can be taken in terms of investigating should be taken. Because I think you don't want, what hurts Bermuda is clouds over its reputation. And that's the issue. It makes no sense me wandering up the corridors of power in Washington, telling the Bermuda story, telling the story over and over again about reputational credibility, about reputation and how much we value our reputation, and that the only word you should put before haven when you think of Bermuda is safe haven. I have to go to Brussels over the weekend, and they've been able to get me to speak before the Economic Council. You know and I know the issues that are happening in Europe, and many of them don't know Bermuda. So when we have irrational and irresponsible comments made which do not do justice to Bermuda or what we stand for, that's not helpful. I think that the allegations are serious. They warrant further inquiry. They warrant further investigation. And if you are like me, I like Agatha Christie novels. And you know what's the worst thing is if 4 people were in a room, a person gets murdered, and 3 are left, and it's nothing conclusive as to who killed the person. What does that mean? It tarnishes and follows each of those 3 people until they identify the murderer. You can say 3, you can say 13, you can say 12. So as far as I'm concerned, I want every effort to be made to make quite clear and make it abundantly clear that there was no infraction, no issue. But I want an inquiry. And that's what I've said. I have nothing to hide from. All I can say, though, categorically, is that there is no period of time that I served in a cabinet of Bermuda where any cabinet action sanctioned any minister taking anything that could be said to be a benefit in kind, like a kickback. If that's the allegation, that certainly is not something which is sanctioned as a matter of government policy. And what we have to bear in mind is that these are allegations, and so that everybody, including the former premier, in order for them to be cleared and for him to be cleared, then there has to be an investigation. And that I am so glad that as a result, and in fact I shouldn't say that as a result, but I'm so glad that having said that there should be an investigation a few days ago, that the police have also subsequently indicated that they are. Because nobody wants to live under a cloud. And I think Bermuda has too much is at stake for Bermuda, and Bermuda is too valuable a commodity for us to trifle with its reputation. And I think when we talk about things like systemic corruption, which has been associated with that whole investigation in TCI, that's wrong, and it does a disservice to the people of Bermuda and the country. It's not ticklish about government, but I think that we've got to remember what we are here to do. I don't mind if people take issue with a comment made. That's what the opposition have to do. That's how they have to oppose, but they have to also be honest brokers. That's my point.